Hi everyone. Alright, so this evening I'm going to be doing some more testing with the bomb. So last time, earlier last week I think it was, I can't remember actually now, we gave this a whirl in anger really, as if we were going to play some games, and discovered a few problems. Some of it was old hardware stuff, like just a couple of wires coming loose. Some of it was some debug functions still in there, so that's been tidied up. And I've also added a little bit more polish, so when you set up a game, you can now re-roll the game generation. So if, for example, you've got something on keypads and you use like one of the columns of buttons, like that, and then on the next keypads module, if you've got two on, it needs the same buttons, but you don't have a second printout of them, you can re-roll that and get another game generated, and that will help with, you know, it wouldn't be too much effort to kind of print an extra set of buttons and keypad caps and stuff like that, but I am quite conscious that there's a lot of just stuff needed, a lot of widgets. The modules take up quite a lot of space as well, so just trying to keep the amount of stuff down to a minimum if possible. So yeah, there we are. So hopefully we'll do our testing, we won't have big problems, or at least be really small problems, like again, a wire's come loose and a light's not coming on when it should, which is easily fixable, but the code should be quite solid now, the app should be good, and we've got that extra kind of re-roll game generation piece to test as well. I'm fairly happy it's all working. I've tested most of the things that went wrong last time already, so we should be pretty much good to go. Not anticipating big problems, so this should be a bit more chill, a bit more relaxed, and yeah, a bit more fun. Just going to get the bomb manual up as well. Need this. Right, so first of all, let's make sure you've got enough space around the bomb. I still have a lot of my stuff everywhere, which doesn't help. What do I want to do first? Well, I'll just clear the desk a little bit more. And let's start with something. So we'll get the timer on, we'll get the phone app connected. Okay, phone app's connected, that's fine. And what should we start with? We'll start with something that uses manual. So let's do wires, because we have wires right there. Okay, there's wires, not Simon. We'll do button. Notice that some of the modules are hard to actually get into the connector. The connector is actually the only thing keeping these modules in. They bind, the serial connectors bind quite nicely. They should have magnets in as well, which would help. The magnets are in the bomb, just not on the modules. That will help align them as well, because the magnets will pull them into the right position. They can be a bit kind of twisted. So there's those two, and I'll do keypads as well. Okay. So I could do another wires, although I would be worried that I don't have enough wires prepared for this. I've got a little collection here, like 6 of each colour, but we'll try and do 2 if it doesn't get overloaded. And let's be ambitious and do another button. Right, so we have a full side of the bomb now. This is going to be busy for me to both set up and then play. So let me fresh module list. 2 wires, 2 button keypad, so the app's happy. Let me just give myself more time. Not that these modules are particularly hard, but I need to think and react about it. Hi, I'm Happy. How are you doing? So I'll just give myself extra time to help digest what's happening, because it's not just about playing the game, it's also a test. And now let's start the manual setup. So, you should see, if the webcam will focus on the phone, which it often doesn't. Oh, not really focusing. There is a reroll button now, and you might not be able to make out the words, but like the widgets will randomize. So that's basically how it works. It works the same with the button and keypads and wires. If I want to re-roll it, just press the button and it generates it again. Okay, well, let's just start with what we've got there. So no D buttons, but it is asking for double A's. Again, I'm just going to use the top because I'm lazy and I can see all of the widgets in one place there. It's also asking for a blank port. Now, I was using these ones, not remembering what I actually had. Of course, with ports, serial and parallel are the two things that are important to gameplay, but I also have a collection of random ones, because there are a whole bunch of different things you can have on them, so we can use these as well. Pop that in there. Tight fit. And it's asking for parallel port. And it's asking for 2 indicators. It's asking for lit NSA and a lit bob. Put them in the lit position. And again, this might be the longest setup there will be, because setting up the indicators takes a little while to slip the little labels in. And we've got 5 modules here that require manual setup, so it does take a while. You need to trim these buttons down a little bit as well. The labels are just a little bit too big. And since I haven't really done much testing sliding the labels in the into the indicators, but that will be an easy fix once I get them in the first time. I have to say the soundtrack to the game, which I've got on, if you can hear it, is a bit dramatic for me, just sliding some labels in. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so those are both on, so they should light up, which they do. Perfect. No hardware failures so far. Right, so we'll confirm placement for that. Oh, and now we've got both of the wires. So this is one of the things I hadn't tested yet, having 2 of the same type of module. So there's a couple of things that could cause that. So let's have a think. I could put my debugger in, but that's not going to help. I think when I've flashed these, I've given it the same CAN ID. Right, let me stop this. I'll stop the demo. I'll plug them in, I'll just check them. Yeah, that's exactly what I think, Nano. That's my first thought because of the way that this should work. Right, so you won't see this, I haven't got it set up, but I'll just plug them into my debugger and read the serial output, which should just be this. So that says it's 1. Let's have a look at the other one. And that says it's 2 actually. Okay, so they do think they have different IDs, which is a slightly bigger problem than I was hoping it would be. Okay, well, in the interest of making some progress, let us just do demos with one type. Is it worth trying to debug this now? It won't be very entertaining for people. Let's think. I need to remind myself how this works. It's been quite a while since I looked at the CAN stuff because it's usually been fine. One quick check then. Let's try it with 2 buttons and see if the same problem happens. Ah, no, that's fine. Button's fine. See, one lights up, confirm, the other one lights up, confirm. Okay, so why is wires being difficult? Oh, that's interesting. And they both have different IDs. Why? That's so interesting, right. So why is wires doing that and not the other manuals? Where's mine? So I know there was a bug in the CAN library that I used for this, where it wouldn't actually use the ID filters correctly. So I've got my own implementation. But then again, button's fine, so it's not obvious. Unless it was just a peculiarity of how the timer recorded them when it registered the IDs with the timer, which controls everything. Let's have a quick look. I'm just slowly opening this up to tighten something else up as well. I haven't haven't actually seen a conflict problem between two modules of the same type. Should have started easier this evening. Did not imagine running into a problem that quickly. But I want to do testing on stream just because it's a bit more interesting. Put the pressure on. Right, so let me just try this again with actually one. Let's try it again and see if it happens again, because it might have just been them registering the same time and confusing the timer, which also isn't great, but can happen. Okay. No, they're both doing it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick look in the library. Okay. I need something that's a bit more chill. So this tense music is just going to wind me up while I do some debugging. So I'll just look at this for a couple of minutes and see if there's anything obvious, and just again refresh my memory about how the IDs are getting filtered. It's going to be a bit of a pain to set my debugger up through another module as well, but I can do that so it can be plugged in and still intercept the messages from one module at a time. Okay. So if the ID matches the ID of the module, So it is only filtering for the module bits, and then well, thank you very much, Luke. I may be overrated if I keep having problems like this, and my streams are just me muttering on while I look at the code. So I filter through the module bits first, and then I do a better scan through the ones pointing to different ones of the same type. So if it's not a generic message, hang on a minute, let me pick through this. And there's some complicated ANDing and ORing, bitwise ANDing and ORing going on here. Packet ID. So if the message bitwise ANDed with all of the. Oh right, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so if I don't specify a bit for the number, that's fine. Otherwise, that bit number has to equal specific bit number, right? That's fine. Or what's this last or at the end? An idea of the module bitwise with all modules. Oh right, so that'd be for the like widgets or something? That should work. Right, so I'm starting to think that the can filter's fine, but the timer is dishing out a message to both. Okay. Right, I think I need to get my debugger involved here. Which is going to be a pain. Let's think. Let's pop it. Where's best? Wait, is this what I want? No, it's not actually. I want this. Nope. I'm just trying to remember how this connects. It's been quite a while since I've used this. Right. So pull this off. Right. So I should be able to plug this in here. That gets the CAN messages and can go into to remember how to wire this up. Well, thanks very much, Isa. Sorry, I'm so focused on trying to fix this problem at the moment. Not much, really. No plans for it. Just try and have a few games, and that's about it. Let's remember what we've got here. So that's 5 volts, so I won't want that. Yeah, it's been many, many years I've been doing this, so it better be good. My word. This can't be a very entertaining stream, I have to say, but that's what happens, unfortunately. Okay, so I want white here. I think put this in here. Alright, so this will just intercept messages to one module. Hopefully, got it right. And then we can see why two of them are getting triggered by, I guess, reading whatever message the timer is putting out. Right, so this should... I haven't done that incorrectly, which I may have. Just double checking that I'm not going to blow this. Okay. Okay, so I see that's wires. Thanks very much, Isa. Really appreciate that. It is what keeps me going when all looks bad. Okay, so refresh modules. Yeah, it's detected wires. Alright, let's pop the other wires in. Let's see why both of them are triggering. Okay. Start again. Connect to the bomb. Okay, it's only saying there's one wires. That was interesting. It still says there's one wires. Okay. I may have wired that incorrectly. It's a 50-50 guess with the CAN bus. Right, let's try that again. It's not detecting that one. What's wrong with this then? check my wiring here. It should be right. And those two... yeah. Okay, well this isn't a good sign. I can't debug it this way. Oh, there we go. Now it's found wires. Okay, so I'll put the other one in. Will it find two? No, and it's jammed the bus maybe, that's why. Okay, so it's only finding one now. It wasn't doing that before though. Right. Now I'm just getting suspicious. What it's doing. Let's simplify it. Refresh. 2 wires. Okay. Okay. Refresh. Okay, still 2 wires. Alright then. Let's have a look at this then. Let me just refresh the serial stuff. Okay, that looks good. Right, let's pull. Okay, still 2 wires modules detected. That's fine. You can't really see what I'm doing back here. So let's see. It's asked to register. And it replies. Ah, okay. Okay. So it's replying with a blank module-specific ID. That's interesting. Right, let's see if that's just a Y-specific thing. I think that's the problem, because it's not giving itself a particular number, like wires 1, wires 2. It's just saying, I'm wires, which is why it's doing this. Right, so why is it doing that? On the registration, okay, that'll be in the defines file. Okay, so it's defined as a wires, and okay. Wires. Let's see where it's setting the ID. Config can module number. Okay, where's this set? Okay. Again, it's all automatic. This should be really straightforward. I just say the module type and a number from 1 to 15, and that should work fine. So I'm just going to flash these 2 again. The fact that buttons is fine means that I think there's not a problem with the CAN code. I think I've just flashed them incorrectly. The It's incredible how small little mistakes can really, really throw testing and make debugging quite difficult. Right, let's upload module wires 1 to this first one. The USB bank is fully charged as well, so we can also try and see how long it lasts. Oh yeah, the GitHub is quiet because the code is like 2 years out of date, and it's super messy, as you can see by the fact I'm having problems at the moment. So I will release what I've done on GitHub eventually. The issue with that again is that it's all really specific code for the ESP32, which I'm using, with some little tweaks for the particular chip that's in this, as well as all of the specific displays and setups that I've got, and really weird PCBs, because when I started doing that I was a complete beginner with it, so I made some pretty silly choices. This module box is coming undone as well. I'm going to have to think about how I can fix that. I think pulling out that particular cable is chewing the box up a bit. Right, so that was one. Let's move that for now. Pop the second box in. Set this to ID 2. Wait for it to just reset. Yeah, it is not documented. It's honestly all in my head, and that's why it's just not in a state to release, because people will be asking what the components are and specific questions like that if you just saw, 2-year-old code. So it will be released at some point, but I'm already thinking, well, I could redo it and revise all of the little problems that I have. Trying not to get too sucked into that though. It's a slippery slope. It's really hard to stop making more game. Right, let's see. Okay, so that should be flashed. Okay, let's see if this has a problem still. Fresh module list, still 2. Manual setup. Confirm. Oh, come on. Interesting. Why are you doing this? Right. Let's see what happens with button. As we know, button works. So let's look at the serial. So that gets the call to register itself, and then it registers itself as a button number 1, which is what I'd expect. So what was wires doing? Because wires is doing something very odd. This is the slightly broken box, so I'll use this. So a lot of the general setup should be handled by the same code. So I shouldn't have expected any module specific differences in this part. packet with ID, and then it's saying it's something completely different. Interesting. Why is it doing this? So it's saying it's the timer and the wires, rather than wires number 1. The one that you've linked there, Nano, is it's like 5 years old at this point on an Arduino. So I'm onto ESPs now. Has my stream stopped? Oh no. Oh, am I back? I think the stream... Alright, I may have intermittent problems there. I hope you could hear what I was saying. I'm just typing here. Just to make sure you're getting my messages. Yeah, YouTube is saying that it's not keeping up, so let me know if it's not working. But yeah, that's the Arduino one is a really old version. That's really out of date. Oh. Frustrating. Oh, it seems to be up and down. I can't really help that, unfortunately. I've got good connection. It's not on my end as far as I'm aware, and I haven't had these problems before. Thanks, Donald. Yeah, I'll say it one more time. It's probably going to cut me off for some weird reason. The Arduino version that you've linked there is really old, years old. So I would not use that either. It's nothing like this code. I didn't watch the fight, but I thought that from the start. It seemed very much that he was in it for the money, unfortunately, and I hear that, yeah, it didn't look good. Like the optics of him being, you know, so out of boxing. It was like two decades, right? He's been gone. Okay, so wires thinks it's a wires module, but instead of it having a bit for which number, 1, 2, 3, etc., it's got the bit saying it's also the timer, which doesn't make any sense. So it thinks its ID is correct, but when it's replying to the timer module to register, it's saying something completely different. Okay, let me narrow in on where this is going wrong. So when it gets the registration message, it Hmm. It should be sending the right message. I don't know why it's not. So interesting. And I can't, again, I should have had documentation for this version. Having it all in my head and doing this over years, putting it down for months, is making this really difficult. So I think that it's attaching the bit for the master, because it's sending a message to the master module, it's sending a message to the timer. So the timer picks that up. But it, again, should be giving that last bit that says what number it is. And it's... And the serial output, it's saying that it's... this one's number 2 that's hooked up. And yet, it doesn't message that out. So weird. Right, let's check button again. Check button. Okay, so button says it's a button number 1, and then if we call it, yeah, it's got master flag, button flag, number 1 flag. It's the same code as well. This is weird. This is very weird. I can't figure this one out. It's not obvious because it's the same code. Can ID set right at the start and then nothing else is ever changing it. At least I know why it's doing it, but I don't know why it's doing it, if you know what I mean. Know what the problem is, I don't know why that problem exists though. Have a quick look at the bits in more detail. Nothing's been clipped. No bits have been clipped, but it's deleting the number at the end. Right, so let me pop some more debug messages in. It is quick and dirty, but I'll figure out why. If anything's changing anywhere along the way. Right, module Y is number 2, which is what this one should be. Let's flash it and see what it's doing. I should have got a harder drink for this. I just got Coke. Okay. Okay, open the serial monitor again. Tip this down a little bit. Oh, you can't. Can't tip my camera down very much. Right, so it says it's Y is number 2. Call it. Okay, so that bit's disappearing. Nothing is changing this variable, but the bit is still disappearing. So I wonder. Seems like a corruption. So something's probably overwriting that byte with something. Just let me just check. Nothing should be changing the ID after it's set. Set once, and then it's referred to, but nothing's setting it again. Let's actually check in the wires module. Not that I think it can actually do anything. That should be completely self-contained. It shouldn't be able to... Yeah. Yeah, it can't. It can't change it. Okay, so it must be a corruption. Okay, random problem here. I'm gonna have to track down which variable is, I guess, overflowing into the CAN, the CAN address. Oh my god! And I'm not a software guy. This is hard stuff for me to figure out. I'm going to make an educated guess based on the last time this happened, though. So let's just try this. Nope. Okay. Okay, how am I going to find out what is corrupting this byte? I thought it was the fast LED library, because that has caused the corruption elsewhere. I can't remember what that was for. Actually, I think that was being overwritten by something else. Right. Let's think. So it's, I mean, it's been overwritten so early on as well. It's been overwritten right at the start. So what happens before registration? We have the little power on bit, so let's print it there. Ooh. And let's label these as well. Power on. And this is the registration. I don't think many people will be building this project or looking through the repo, especially if you don't have exactly the same hardware. Again, it's just a difficult thing. And I'm only one person, and I've got very little time to do anything other than what I want to do. Yeah, thanks, Donald. I know there's a lot to it. The nature of my videos has changed quite a lot as well. It's gone from a reminder for myself to a bit of a little show-off thing, and then it's gone to like very short updates as I've had less and less time. I'd like to do more polished stuff, but I don't really have the equipment or the time to do it. So I much rather do little shorts of particular modules being built or little demos of something. Okay, I'm just doing a few little bits in the code to output the CAN ID, so I can keep checking it and try and narrow down the part in the code where it gets corrupted. Straight away at power on. So when it first boots up, it does all of the necessary stuff to set up the libraries, etc. And then it does a little power on indication. So it'll flash its lights, which for wires is just that one indicator light in the corner. And already at that point, the bit has been overwritten. So wires doesn't have a particular number for itself. Let's think. Okay, let's try again. Before power on, during the setup. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't recognize your name, Donald, but if you're in the builders Discord, that's a really good place to see alternative plans and ideas. A lot of people have really kind of bounced a lot of ideas off each other and taken ideas from each other, all in a friendly way. But it's been really interesting actually to see some of the different approaches. And there's been a bit of a convergence on things like the CAN bus as being quite a standard way that people are sending messages between their modules. Really interesting. Right, let's think. That's so if you're interested in different approaches and different designs, I check out the Discord. One of the guys, Mel, was saying the other day that he was happy with his version 1, but when he saw other people's interpretations and ways of doing it, he's gone back to the drawing board on his design. And he's great software guy, but yeah, I think he's wanted to change the design based on some of the other ones. Thanks, Bananas. You're always there. Always a good cheerleader. Right, let's see where this problem is. So, ID's good to begin with. ID's good there. ID's bad there. So, it is, I think it is something to do with the LED library. Again, I knew it would be. Module start. Okay, yeah. I found it. Dumb as hell. So it was a wire specific thing. When the quick explanation is, I use a fast LED library for things like the corner LEDs that you can't really see because there's lights right in the way. There you go. So there's an array of different lights, and for wires I was telling it to change number 1. it starts at 0 and there's only 1. So this light actually was not being updated when it should in this one instance, and instead it was overwriting the next address, which is the CAN ID. So it was a wires specific problem that looks like it should have been there for quite a while. So that's a bit surprising it's lasted so long, but that's fine. It should be fixed now. Okay, that hopefully wasn't too painful. Mechanical aspects of wire sequences. I don't think anyone's actually gone for wire sequences yet. Oh, Blenana said that, sorry. You're right. I don't think anyone's done it. It is on my to-do list. I think I can approximate it, and it will be physical. I would like to have a rotating cube. The issue with it is, given the size of my module boxes, there's not going to be a great amount of room, and those wires could be really closely packed in and make it unplayable, because it'll be really difficult to get the tweezers, the nippers in there to cut a particular wire, depending on, you know, the size of it. So yeah, not good. Not good. But it's on the to-do list, certainly. And I'm sure there are different ways. You could also have like a touch screen, and it wouldn't be as physical. I'd really like it to be as physical as possible, but yeah. It could be half of a hexagon that rotates. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I will look into it at one point. I've got about 10 modules designed. Well, I haven't quite designed, what was it, capacitor discharge yet. But I've got, where is it? I've got the start of it, which is, is this. It's a 3D printed spring, so you can see the lever for capacitor discharge. Would be a very, very nice thing that hopefully won't snap. But a lot of the electronics for that are done, it just needs the design. Okay, so we have, let me check, hang on. So that was wires 2. Apologies, I hope we are back on track with this now. I hope we are back on track with this now. So this is wires 1. Wait for it to update. Yeah, it can't hit the back of the modules, and then you've got wires sticking out, so the tolerances have to, you know, be such that you could have a giant gap next to it, because otherwise the wires might jam when it rotates. Yeah. It's a pretty big, like, box on the module as well. I mean, it's a fairly big, like, chunk, isn't it? That takes up the whole thing. It would have to be a much smaller cube, I think. Or there might be some kind of fancy tricks if I start getting to my mechanical design. Maybe do something really funky. But that's not me. I'm a complete beginner. I am learning as I go. Right, so that should be, famous last words, that should be it working now. So, let's try this again. Let me get the light back on this as well. A little spotlight that blinds me. Okay, refresh modules. 2 wires, setup, widgets. One of them is blinking. Perfect. Right. Well, that was a painful, I don't know how long I was doing that for, half an hour. Apologies, everyone. What about panels that you pull off once complete, like a beehive? Interesting. I don't think anyone's had that suggestion yet. That's quite an interesting idea. I'll put that one in the back of my mind. And tag track, so each wire gets its own segment. I don't know how that would work. Can't quite picture that one, bananas, but maybe. All right, let's play a game now. I've only got one. Where is it? I've only got one keypad's module, so can't test that with a double, but it should be fine. Okay, refresh module list. 2 wires, 2 buttons, 1 keypad. I'll give myself more time as well. Manual setup. Okay, where's my spectrum? So we need 2 double A's and a D. I wish I'd redone these. These widget panels. I kind of like I printed a load of stuff to begin with, and I thought oh, there's much better ways of doing it. So 2 double A's. This is lights are flickering a bit. That makes me worried. Blank port. Oh, I should have left one of those in then. Oh, these are the worst. You need a better tool to get these out. It's not metal, so I don't make a big problem. So we do need FRK, which is off. Job done, and a blank port. I'll pop this one back in. And I'm missing a D battery. Okay, cool. Move the camera up slightly, sorry. Okay, so I can confirm placement. Got keypads. If anyone hasn't seen the app before, shows you which things to put on. So I can re-roll. We can test that. So let's pick that one. I think that's actually this stack. So it's the first column because I've got these arranged by column in the manual. I think. Hope so. Alright, confirm placement. Alright, so this is a 3-wire one, which is good because I don't have too many bits of wire prepared. Actually need another. Which is the wire I use for this? Oh, this. I don't have any striped wire as well, so I'm not going to do complicated wires today, but that is ready to test. I'm just going to cut another bit of white wire because I did snip a wire last test. It doesn't take too long to do, I just need to cut a certain length and then strip the ends off it. And this is the benefit of my design, where the app tells you what to put in place, is that it doesn't have to have any resistors in it for the bomb to detect what you put in. So I can just cut a bit of wire and use it. I don't need to prep anything special. But I need a bit of white wire for the first position. First position, like the memory. The first wire, the top slot. Give it a bit of a wiggle. There you go. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's not too bright, is it? I don't know what's an appropriate amount of light for this. Maybe a bit less. Maybe a bit less light. Then I need a bit of blue for number 4. And these wires are just the right thickness that they grip. So you can pull them out, but they shouldn't drop out, and you can cut them if you want. Actually, where are my wire cutters? Because it is so satisfying when you clip the wires. It makes a lovely little snip. Right, check inputs. Perfect, it's happy with that. Button, it wants a white press, so that's perfect. And this one wants a red press. Actually, let's try the re-roll. Okay, we'll do a yellow detonate. So again, if it's not doing a yellow detonate, if it's trying to do a red press, we'll know that that re-roll feature has a problem. Well, that's not upside down. I thought I printed these so they were the right way up when they hit there. Maybe I've installed the button on that one upside down. Okay, that's something to check afterwards, actually. Yeah, I'll check that afterwards. Right, so confirm placement, and then... Okay, another 3 wires one. Do you want to do another 3 wires one? It's all black wires. Let's re-roll that one. 4 wires, all black. Let's do that. It's a bit more interesting. 5 wires. So again, this is the longest setup it will have because, well, it could be slightly longer, but 5 modules that need the app and some manual intervention. So, yeah, this is as slow as it gets between games, unless you're running lots and lots of modules. And a black. And then the time to set up between shouldn't be too bad because while this game's being played, so if someone cuts a red wire, you just have to prep 1 more piece of red wire. Nice and simple. Does Bananas already have the answer to this one? Yeah, exactly. So if you see what I've done here, I've just got a whole bundle of the colours that I need, and then it's just cutting 1 or 2 to replace them. I haven't prepped the... So, the issue that I have, the way that the wires modules work, so wires and complicated wires, is it's just the like dew point connectors. And I've got a thick enough wire that they just go in and it's like a snug fit. So for complicated wires, the snag is I have striped wire, as is needed, but it's stranded rather than a solid core. So you can't really push them in because it just splays and it won't grab into the like connector sockets. So I have to cut the wire, I have to pull the stranded wire out of it, cut solid wire to the same length and push it back into the insulation. So that's awful to do. I can't just cut it from the reel, but again, it's just 1 module. I can deal with that, I think. Yeah, exactly. I set it to 8 minutes so I could talk and have a relaxed time. I'm just going to get my wire cutters. And then we'll play. Right. So let's confirm that. It's happy. And let's start. Actually, I should get the manual ready, shouldn't I? Right. Oh, the sound didn't start for a while there. I did turn the sound up a little bit, so hopefully you can hear that a little bit better. A bit of... I could do that. The problem with the stranded core is that it's already thicker than it needs to be. I need to solder half of the strands and push those in, if you know what I mean. It's a bit difficult actually. Cat9 network cables, solid core and striped. Okay, that's good. I'll have something specific to Google then. I think what I got is stuff for cars. But yeah, I'll look into it. Again, it has to be the right, a certain diameter to connect into that, but it's something to look into. So thanks for that, Rowie. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's do wires. So we've got 3 wires. 1. Yeah, 3 wires. Let's see if there's more than 1 blue wire. So it's the last one. Cut the last wire. Hopefully. Cool. So other wires module. 5 wires. No red. No. There is a black wire. So cut the first wire. Excellent. And we re-rolled one of them, so it's obviously generating that correctly. Otherwise, there's a 1 in 6 chance it was the same position anyway. Alright, let's go on to the button. So, we've got 2. Let's do... Well, we can do them both at the same time. The button is blue, neither of them are. There's more than 1 battery. The button says detonate, which that one is true. We can press and release. Okay, that's gone green. Yeah, you can see that. Let's keep going. If the button is white, and there's a lit car indicator, there's not. Let's think, what else we got? Sorry, I got distracted there. There's an FRK, but it's not lit, so it's not that one. Button is yellow, nope. If the button is red, nope. So, hold. So let's see if this is correct, because we had problems with releasing the held button last time. And I didn't find what the problem was. Again, that could be anything. And I've just talked my way past all of the ones. So release on the 1. I have a feeling this module just fell out of its case as well. Yeah, this is not working. So it's not even doing an incorrect. Okay. Oh, okay. So I think that was me pressing the button badly, but that problem's still there. So that's something to look into. Let's figure this one out. Because looking at the code, it seemed fine, so we shall put it into or put it through the debugger as we did with wires, and figure out why. If it's not getting the right message or something like that, I don't know. So the way this works is it should be half a second, which should be correct, bananas, but something to check. For button, I'll explain how that works in the code. So it's only the timer that knows the time, or knows the digits that are on the timer. So when the button is released, it sends a message to the timer asking what the digits are, sends a message back, and only then, on receipt of that message, does it figure out if it's a strike or a solve. So I'm assuming because it's not reacting at all when you release a held button, that message is not being sent or not being received. So that's why I'm putting it through the debugger here. I'm going to monitor the messages going backwards and forwards to see what that problem is. And I'm going to get rid of these other modules because we'll keep it simple. Oh. Pull the wires out. Pull the wires out. Oh, that one was cut. There we go. Right. My desk is absolutely cluttered. My other desk, just off camera, is absolutely cluttered with module boxes and widgets. You would not believe how much stuff there is. Right, so let's play a game with just this. So, refresh module list, button and keypads. Well, we didn't get to play it last time, but we'll just keep it simple. Just button. Set it up. I'm going to re-roll so there's no indicators, just to make it easier. Alright, there's 6 batteries. I'm going to go for that. And it's a red detonate. I think that's an instant push, actually, isn't it? I want something where you hold it. More than one battery on the bottom, it says detonate, yeah. Okay, re-roll that one. Still detonate. A blue abort button. Oh, that's the first one. Okay, that's a definite push. Sorry, it's a definite hold, I should say. Right. Sorry, you can't see this again. Blue abort. Yes, it's a tap. Bananas is the encyclopedia of this game, honestly. That's a dusty button as well. Right. So let's start. And let me get the serial monitor up again. Okay. So let's hold it down pressed. Struck color 3. It's always a red. Release it. Waiting for timer to determine action. Sending packet T, but it's not receiving anything. Right, so we have to put the timer onto this now and figure out if the timer is receiving that and if it's doing anything with it. Wait a minute. I think I've got a brainwave on this one. I think I know what the issue is. I don't often get a brainwave, but I think I've got it this time. Okay, so let's go to the button code. So this button being released. Let's figure out where it should be sending the message, because I think it's actually sending the wrong message. Input check. So if the stream's going down, very frustrating. I'm glad I'm fixing stuff rather than just leaving this for later. So let's have a look. Input check. Outbox message T. Okay, so I think that it's not sending the message to the timer. It's just sending it to the widgets. So a lot of things will just send their stuff to the widgets because it's like a sound cue. So it has to tell the like widgets controller that Simon's making a noise or whatever that is. So I think it's just sending its request for the timer to the widgets. So let me just make that change and upload it. And hopefully that's fine. The problem is this might affect other things too, because this is a change in the main code which all of the other modules share. But I can't imagine it will, because the timer will just ignore it if it's not needed, I think. Oh, if I go back, I would do things so differently now. A lot of this code's over 2 to 3 years old. I can't remember how long ago I built the buttons. Right, okay. Let's do this. Bum, 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 bum. So we have the button. We will set it up. Red abort button. That fine? Okay. It's red abort. I can't remember whether to change it, but it should be a hold. So let's try this. Check out the serial monitor again. Yeah, it's a release on red. The strip color is always red. Oh, that's something to check as well. Okay. Okay, there we go. Works now. Oh, bloody hell. Right. Oh. Okay, so that's fine. That was an oversight. So interestingly, I've done a lot of testing with just each module on its own. Obviously, little changes must have crept in when I started doing the other modules, and so, you know, going back, it's broken. A bit frustrating though. So I think that's fine. Did I have any other thoughts about how this might break or not? Oh yeah, is it always going to be a red strip? Because maybe the number generation's broken on that one. So 3 buttons, yellow abort, is that? Yeah, okay, I think that's a hold again. Actually, the serial monitor tells me what the solution is, so I can just. Okay, so that says the strip button's going to be blue this time. All right, let's try that. Release on a 4. The serial monitor tells me the answer because obviously I've been so lazy doing testing. The sound isn't working. I think I know what that is. So release on a 4, right? Blue. Cool. Right, let's refresh that. Let's try this. Okay. So this should be a hold, and it says release on a 1. I'll just do it incorrectly as well. which means I'm going to have to wait a whole minute, actually. I set this up so I'd have a 1, and now I want to test it going wrong, so I'll have to wait until there's no 1. I can speed it up, can't I, if I press. It's satisfying to slam the button as well, actually. Actually, Bananas, you might know which strike light comes on when you've got 1 strike. Maybe you play modded too much and you don't know off the top of your head. But I think it should be the left one, but maybe my right one comes on first. The small details like that, I'm actually... I don't even pay attention to and I gloss over. Alright, let's try this. So, I should need a 1 in any position. Let's get it wrong. Yeah. Alright, I'm happy. So it works when it should work for both a strike and an explode, or a solve, I should say. So, yeah, happy with that. Repeat the question. If I start the game again, and I get 1 strike, I think my right hand light comes on, not the left hand one. Yeah. Should it be the left one? Really small detail, but yeah, I'm not sure. I will have to check the sound. It is getting delayed for some reason. Again, a minor issue that I'm not going to do now. I'm happy that it's just working. Yeah, left one. Interesting that I did it the wrong way around. Oh, I thought I had to press this when there was a 1. Oh, release on a 4. Oops. Cool. It's a bit harder when you've got less than a minute left and it's going that quickly. Alright, I will make both of them have the fix. Now we'll play some more games. I know I've been streaming nearly 2 hours now, but I am keen to test. I have to figure out why the widget's sound has been delayed for a while. It's probably in like the wrong game mode, or it's... Oh, maybe I'm starting the game so quickly that the e-ink display is updating, which takes ages because it's black and red, and that will freeze the ESP. So that's probably why there's like a 20-second delay without any sound, because the e-ink display is jamming it. I'm going to have to be patient when setting up the game. And thanks for checking that, Bananas. I really do appreciate, honestly, I really do appreciate the fact that, you know, someone who knows the game so well is always in the Discord to answer questions. It's really, really helpful. Really super helpful. So just a big thank you, really. Right. We'll have to check this button as well. Isn't there a modded variant where the button's upside down? I know a lot of modded variants, like not button, it's probably called, has like stuff upside down. That's probably you that made those modules. I don't know. Right, let's play another game. Let's play something a bit different. Let's do memory. Let's do Simon. Let's do something I didn't test last time. And why not? Let's pull this out. Don't need the debugger anymore. Get rid of that. Okay, just pop that on the floor. Right, so this will keep me busy. That's a fair number of modules. No, but it has a strip on the left. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was button upside down. Right, let's do this one. And this one's slightly scary because memory, I could choke on that quite easily. Let's get the light on this a bit more. Let's turn it around a bit as well, actually. Why not? Right, so this will be interesting. Refresh the modules. Keypad, Simon, memory, morphs, venting. Perfect. The e-ink display keeps showing the generic version. It must do that when it's bored. Why is it doing that? Why is it? I'll look at that later. It's not important. The game works. Let's give myself more than 2 minutes this time because I am very out of practice with this. So actually, the way I do memory is I have a physical map of the numbers in my head, so I remember the position, and I try and just put the label in that position. So I have it's almost like you can see the 3 and 2 and whatever, just like in a grid in my mind. My pen is actually not working, so I'll just try and remember. Famous last words. Right. Let's set the manual modules. It's trying to set a button. Let's go back. You don't have button. What are you doing? Okay, so it's detecting silent memory and venting now, but not keypads and mouse. Okay, let's try this again. Interesting. Okay, so it's putting the generic e-ink serial number whenever I pull the modules. That's going to get really old really quick because it's just going to jam it up. So let's have a quick look at the code for that one. It's a bit of a pain to flash the widgets one. So when it gets okay, maybe it's the timer that's causing it to do that, because the timer generates the serial number and passes it over. So that would be odd. No, okay, wait a minute. I swear I will play this game in a moment. When does it do? When does it do setup then? interesting. Why is it putting the generic serial? This is so frustrating. Why is it doing this? I need to look at the timer and widget one side by side here. So I changed the order in which it does the serial update, but it shouldn't do the default. Serial generate. This is a big mess. This timer code is absolutely gargantuan. How much stuff it's doing to manage the entire bomb. So widget generate, and then you serial generate, and that's the last thing it does right at the end of all of the manual setup. So it shouldn't be doing anything. It shouldn't be doing anything there. That's interesting. It's almost like the widget's been reset, which doesn't make much sense as well. Well, it's not critical. It's just it can block the bomb messages going through and make problems with setup. So oh, okay. So and that's what we're seeing. So memory will do a full update. So technical problem here that I've had to tackle with. These e-ink displays, they like flash when they're doing the proper update, and that's because it takes a lot of passes to make sure all of those like cells are being updated. Because if it does one pass, I know, right? It's really challenging. I'm about to pull my hair out, but I don't have much left at this point. So it does a lot of passes to make sure the ink is like where it should be, basically. So that it does a proper reset before each game to make sure that it's fresh. During the game, it does a partial update where it just does it once, but if you do that lots of times, you get ghosting because it's not refreshing properly. So at the start of a game, it does it properly. I've noticed that if it's doing that, it's jamming the ready, and therefore it was showing the button because that was the last thing it was showing beforehand. And then it took quite a few seconds for it to actually tell me what the widgets should be, because so